Hey guys, you're welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about cultural things, our culture. I watched a video yesterday about a lady, an African American lady, was actually making a statement of fact that most African men, when they date African American women, a lot of times they go back to their African women. They probably date them for a while, jilt them, and go back to the African women. And honestly, she said, according to her, I'll play that video, that African men are very dedicated, they are loyal to the African women, but not African Americans. They prefer to date foreigners, they don't date African American women. So that brings me to the fact that I'd be talking about this, about us appreciating our culture and our tradition. And that's the main reason why African men go back to African women, because Africans understand Africans. And if at the end of the day they date a foreigner, they most times don't get what they actually wanted because of these cultural differences.
So y'all know how African people get on here and they be like, y'all African American girls be dating these African men, but the whole time they gonna always marry or choose a African woman over any woman. I like that. I'm gonna be honest. I like that. I wish African American men had that same loyalty, but they don't. I fucks with it, cause you post where I feel people like that.
Men. But when I read the comments, some people blamed the African American women, some blame the men, some blame the African men. But the thing is, when you're talking about cultural differences, it's so, I'm telling you, even in Africa, even in my country, Nigeria, we sometimes do not want inter-tribal marriage. It's not even interracial now, inter-tribal marriage. Why? Because we don't understand each other's culture. Some people, when they want to get married into a culture, they don't do their research. They don't know what this culture expects from them. They just marry, and when they marry and they start having issues, they don't know where the issues come from. So many cultural differences. So if you really want to marry an African man, like an African American woman, you have to understand that particular man, the tribe where it comes from, the culture where it comes from. You have to understand it, because this is in us. You can't take it away from us. It's inbuilt. We are born to think this way. We are born to react like this. So also you were born to react in the way you react. So it's not really easy to shelve what you've known for almost 30, 35 years. It's really not easy. So let me tell you, it's not only happening to the African American women, it's happening even in Africa. Even in my country, Nigeria, so a lot of times we don't want to marry outside our tribe. We don't want to, because we believe that they don't understand our culture. Other tribes don't understand our culture, and they don't want to understand. So that's why there'll be frictions. If you want to marry into my tribe, I expect you to go and understand our culture, to understand, study our culture, and study who you're going to marry. Also study the family before you dip your head in it. Because by the time you start that relationship, if you're not humble to understand what the culture says, you might have issues. And that those issues might probably affect you and affect your children. It's really very deep. So I'm talking to the African American women now. Naturally, there's some things that you will do that an African man will be like, oh my God. So he will think about, can I continue to live like this for the rest of my life? Why can't I go to an African woman who understands me so that I'll have peace of mind? When a man does not have peace of mind, he can't be fruitful. He can't excel if he doesn't have peace in his heart. So he needs to have peace of mind. And who can give him that peace is his friend, his companion, his soulmate, his wife. So that's why you see that African women will always want to go back to African women who understand them. Another advice I'm going to give to the African American women is, see, African men wants to marry you, but the problem is the cultural differences. So if you intend to marry an African, you got to do some research work. You got to know where that guy comes from. You got to find out about who they are, what their likes and what their dislikes are, and try to, to put yourself in that relationship as regards their custom and tradition. We all have, everybody, we all have our culture. Even in the UK, you saw how the Queen was buried. They all have their culture. We all have our culture. We have our traditions. So that's it. I don't want to go more than 6 minutes. If you intend to marry an African man, these are what you're going to do. I'll tell you in my next video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope to see you in that video. Bye-bye.